Hi, I'm Tami Utley. Today I'm going to be showing you some of the more unusual buttercream flowers. They're not the most common ones. We're going to be doing a ranunculus, a peony, an English rose, and some pine cones in buttercream today. You've seen some of the YouTubes on them. They're kind of sporadic and they're not in English, most of them. But I do know how to do these flowers, at least my own way to do these flowers, so I'm going to be showing you those today. I have an 8-inch cake here already iced. And I have some buttercream. You're only going to need to use American buttercream, a very stiff one. Uses a high ratio shortening. That means that it's got trans fats in it usually, but there are still high ratio shortenings out there. One of the brands is Sweet Tex. I know there are a couple others. Just try and find high ratio shortening because we need a very stiff buttercream to do these flowers. I also have various colors. I have a super red because this is a holiday theme. I have an egg yellow. I have a juniper green, or you can use a moss green or a forest green, just a nice deep pine needle type green. And then of course white, and I used the red to make a pink, a light pink, and I used a burgundy, a Maricolor burgundy with a little touch of the super red in it. One hint to tell you, if you're going to enter colors in a cake show, it's best if you mix your colors, don't use them straight out of the pot. Because if you mix your colors, the judges will notice it and you get extra points for it. Okay, just in case you happen to compete. I'm going to be using some of our normal tips, like a 104, a 103, those kind of normal tips, a 101S, I believe. But I'm also going to be using some of the tips that we don't use as normal, that you might not have. I'm going to be using a 123, a 61, and I'm not sure if I'm using a 116, I'll let you know. But those are some of the more unusual tips to get these unusual flowers. Like for the peony I use a 123. It's actually one of my favorite tips. We're also going to need our spatulas, and we're going to need a nail, a flower nail. This is a really big one. This is a 14. You can use a 7, or I'm not sure what the Atico number is. It's a 90 something. But I like to use the bigger one because these are bigger flowers, so I like to have a bigger nail in my hand. With that, since these flowers are fairly big, we're actually going to put them in the freezer to firm them up. So I need to make these flowers on wax paper or on parchment paper. So I need to make little squares. So what I'm going to do is show you how I do it. We just need a bunch of squares that we need to cut. So I'm just going to fold this up like so. Let's keep folding it. They don't have to be all even in size, so don't worry about that. I'm going to move this out of the way a little more. And then I'm just going to cut down that fold line. And then cut again. Just get your scissors in the middle, somewhat. Okay, and then I will need to cut these in squares. And again, they don't have to all be even, so don't fret about it. I don't measure it out, I don't do anything. There might be an easier way to do this, but this is the way I've done it, you know, all my cake decorating career. So now I have a million squares and I'm ready to make my flowers. So, yeah, see they all have a nice little curve to them. And again, you can use parchment paper too, if that's what you want. Okay, so here are my squares. And I have some more over here already done up. Got my nail. So let's go ahead and start with some of our flowers here. I'm going to start with the pine cone because we're going to put pine cones on there.